In a world where football legends come and go, one man has redefined greatness with every touch of the ball. He is not just a player, not just a champion, he is a phenomenon. From the streets of Madeira to the grandest stages of world football, Cristiano Ronaldo has shocked fans, silenced critics, and delivered moments that will live forever. Tonight, we dive into the story of the moment that didn't just change a game. It changed football history. Stay tuned, because what you're about to witness is Cristiano Ronaldo at his most unstoppable. Greatness in football is often measured in fleeting moments, the kind that rewrite history in a single strike, a single leap, or a single roar from the crowd. For Cristiano Ronaldo, those moments have defined his life and career. Every time the world doubted him, every time critics whispered that his best days were behind him, he answered with something spectacular. One moment above all others stands apart, a moment that left fans speechless, rivals stunned, and football itself forever changed. It was the kind of performance that transforms a man into a legend and a legend into a myth. This is the story of Cristiano Ronaldo's moment that shocked football forever. The stage was set under the floodlights, with millions of eyes fixed on him. The tension was unbearable, the stakes impossibly high. Opponents stood ready, fans held their breath, and commentators braced themselves for something extraordinary. They had seen Ronaldo rise to the occasion countless times before, but this night felt different. The energy in the stadium seemed to vibrate with his presence, as though destiny itself was waiting for his touch. From the first whistle, he moved, with the kind of confidence that only the greats carry. Every sprint, every dribble, every glance at goal carried the weight of expectation. And then, in a flash, he delivered. The ball dropped at his feet, and what followed was nothing short of breathtaking. A step over to confuse the defender, a burst of pace that left everyone chasing shadows, and then, bang! A strike so pure, so thunderous, that it silenced the entire ground for a split second before erupting into chaos. The net rippled, the goalkeeper stood frozen, and fans clutched their heads in disbelief. Commentators could barely find the words. This wasn't just a goal. It was a statement. Ronaldo had reminded the world that he was not just part of the game, he was redefining it. But it wasn't only the goal, it was the complete performance, the relentless energy, the sharpness of every movement, the way he demanded the ball at every moment. His hunger for perfection was on full display. This was not a man content with what he had already achieved. 5 Ballon d'Ors, Champions League trophies, league titles across Europe. None of it mattered in that moment. What mattered was proving once again that he could carry a nation, a team, and the hopes of millions on his shoulders. It was football at its most dramatic, a performance that sent a clear message: Cristiano Ronaldo is built different. In the past stands, supporters of the opposing team looked on in disbelief. They had come hoping to witness their own heroes rise, but instead they were forced to admire the brilliance of a man who refused to age, refused to fade, refused to surrender. For the Spanish press, who had long speculated about his decline, this was the answer. For the critics who claimed his time at the top was over, this was the rebuttal. He wasn't slowing down. If anything, he was growing sharper, hungrier, more determined to prove that greatness is not a phase, it is a way of life. Interviews after the match revealed the truth behind the magic. Ronaldo himself put it simply: hard work, dedication, and belief. I train almost every day. This is why I've been at the top for so many years, he said with quiet confidence. It's not by chance, it's not by luck, it's because I dedicate myself. That humility, mixed with unshakable self-belief, is what makes him unique. He does not shy away from calling himself the best, not out of arrogance, but out of an inner drive that pushes him to deliver moments like these. For Ronaldo, greatness is earned daily, and this performance was proof of that philosophy. The football world erupted online. Clips of the moment spread across social media within minutes. Fans from every corner of the globe replayed it, analyzed it, and celebrated it. Even rival players couldn't hide their admiration. It wasn't about loyalty to a club or country anymore. It was about recognizing history in the making. This was a night that transcended rivalry. A night when football fans united to applaud one man's brilliance. The moment wasn't just a victory for Portugal, Real Madrid, Manchester United or Juventus. It was a victory for football itself. Legends are made in nights like these. Ronaldo's ability to deliver when it mattered most had long been established. But this performance sealed it. It joined the ranks of his hat-trick against Spain in the World Cup, his bicycle kick against Juventus in the Champions League, his comeback masterclasses in Europe. Every great player has highlights, but Ronaldo's catalogue of iconic moments is unmatched. This one, however, felt different. It wasn't just about the goal, the skill, or the power. It was about the aura. It was about proving that time could not touch him, that doubts could not shake him, that he was eternal. As the final whistle blew, the stadium rose in unison. Applause thundered, chants of his name echoed into the night, and even his opponents could only smile and shake their heads. What could you do against such brilliance? This was Cristiano Ronaldo at his finest, reminding the world why he is not just a footballer, but a phenomenon. That night, he didn't just win a match. He carved his name deeper into the history of the sport. And so, the story of Cristiano Ronaldo's moment that shocked football forever lives on. It wasn't just about a single game, a single goal, or even a single night. It was about the embodiment of everything he has stood for since the day he kicked a ball on the streets of Madeira: dedication, sacrifice, belief, and an unrelenting hunger to be the best. Football has seen many greats, many unforgettable moments, but few that stand the test of time like this. Because in that instant, Cristiano Ronaldo wasn't just the best player in the world, he was football itself. The aura of that night didn't end when the floodlights went out. In the days that followed, every sports network replayed the highlights on a loop, dissecting every frame, every movement, every ounce of brilliance Ronaldo displayed. Pundits who had been critical suddenly changed their tune, describing his performance as otherworldly. Social media exploded with memes, edits, and tributes. Football journalists wrote columns not about the match itself, but about Ronaldo's defiance of age, his refusal to bow to time. It wasn't just football news anymore, it was global news. Behind the scenes, teammates spoke of the electricity in the locker room. They described how Ronaldo prepared differently, how he walked into the stadium that day with an expression that told everyone something special was about to happen. He was calm, focused, and distant, almost as though he knew destiny was calling. Some younger players admitted later that they felt like they were sharing the pitch with a myth rather than a man. His energy was contagious, his belief unshakable, and by the time the match started, even his teammates knew they were about to witness history. The rivalry conversations reignited almost instantly. Messi versus Ronaldo, the eternal debate, once again dominated headlines. Fans of both sides flooded the internet, comparing clips, numbers, and emotions. Yet, even many Messi loyalists admitted that what Ronaldo did that night was untouchable. It wasn't just statistics, it was the sheer spectacle, the kind of moment that transcends numbers, that etches itself into your memory even if you're not a fan of his. This was why the rivalry was so special, because each time one delivered brilliance, the other was challenged to raise the bar higher. Sports scientists analyzed his physique, stunned by how he still moved with the explosiveness of a 20-year-old. They broke down his diet, his recovery methods, his obsession with details, sleep cycles, ice baths, extra training after practice. All the things most players avoided, Ronaldo embraced. Discipline, one analyst said, is the real secret to his greatness. This moment wasn't magic, it was the reward for decades of discipline. The free kick, the leap, the sprint, the power, it all came from a body forged through endless sacrifice. On the streets of Lisbon, Madrid, Turin, Manchester, and even faraway places like Jakarta and Lagos, murals of Ronaldo appeared almost overnight. Artists captured his celebration, arms wide open, face filled with defiance and joy. Fans turned his image into posters, wallpapers, and songs. It wasn't just Portugal that celebrated, it was the world. His story resonated with people who dreamed of rising above their circumstances, because if a boy from Madeira could conquer the world, maybe they could too. That's the power of moments like this. They turn sport into inspiration. Commentators around the world tried to describe the undescribable. "He is from another planet," one shouted. "The man who makes the impossible look routine," said another. Every language had its own way of expressing the shock, the disbelief, the admiration. Kids on playgrounds imitated his free kicks, practicing his stance, copying his celebration. Parents who once argued with their children about schoolwork suddenly used Ronaldo as an example of discipline and hard work. The impact of that night stretched far beyond 90 minutes. It became a cultural event.